Good morning, everybody. Where has the video capture gone? That's not it. That's not it at all. Give me 1 minute to sort this out, and then we will be back. There we go. Back in the land of the living. Welcome back to Crypto Warehouse. It's 11 a.m. Central European Time, 12th of January, 2024. It feels like 2 or 3 days ago that Santa was delivering all of his presents, and it's now just a distant memory. Good morning to Hidden Agendas. Good morning to Mags. Good morning to Kishan in chat. Welcome to you all. I hope you're having a wonderful day. I hope you're having a great day. What we're going to do today is we have a very simple agenda, but as with all things to do with crypto, there's a lot of politics in what went on yesterday. We all thought we would be at 48 to 50,000 by today. We're sitting just at 46,000. I'm going to tell you what happened. We're going to look at Vanguard, what's gone on there. We're going to take a look at the Bitcoin options, which expire today. We'll have a look at the Bitcoin chart, see what we think is going to happen. My thought hasn't changed in the last few days on that. We're going to look at the Ethereum ETF. When's that likely to be put through? Then we're going to look at the next Ethereum upgrade, the Denkun. I don't know how you want to pronounce that. We're going to look at SUI. We've covered SUI on the channel before. I'm going to show you our YouTube channel in a minute. We've covered SUI before. SUI pumped yesterday. I'll explain why. Then we're going to look at Hedera and Algorand partnership. Is that going to help pump those coins? I think so. Then at the end, if we have time, and if I am still in the land of the living, we're going to do the quiz. I am still reeling from Wednesday. I am still tired from Wednesday. Wednesday, we did 2 streams. We did the morning stream. We then went into the studio at about 5 p.m. and I think we left about 10:30. I'm still tired. I am not a young spring chicken anymore. So if I sound a little bit deeper than normal, it's probably because I'm still trying to catch up on my sleep. Before we do any of that, however, let's have a look at the markets. The market is down, believe it or not. First day after trading, market's down just over 1%. The volume is down a little bit. Bitcoin dominance is down. Ethereum dominance is up. Not really much in the way of changes there. As we can see here, Bitcoin is just under 46,000. Excuse me. Ethereum is holding on to 2,600. The gainers, again, not financial advice, but please don't buy this token. It's a token from an exchange that is not currently trading. It's a zombie coin. There is no value attached to this token. It's all speculation. People are believing that when FTX2 is launched, this token is going to be used. I've seen nothing and heard nothing about that. Bitcoin Cash is up. SUI is here for full what's the word, disclosure. I hold a small bag of SUI. I bought it a couple of days after the launch. I think I'm probably in profit now. I don't know what I paid for it, $1.95, something like that. I can't remember what it was. So SUI is up, Tezos is up, Blur, eCash, Litecoin, believe it or not, Litecoin is still knocking around the top 20. And I know if Tariq is watching, Tariq is a big fan of Litecoin. Ethereum Classic is up. There's a lot of gains in the last 48 hours for Ethereum related projects. Ethereum name server is also up. Vitalik came out a couple of days ago and said that all layer 2s should support ENS, Ethereum name server. So that's pumped as well. So there's a lot of market movements in the alts, not just Bitcoin. Bitcoin, as we've said, it's not really done a lot. We're still hanging around 46,000. There's lots of coins moving about. So when Bitcoin pauses for breath, altcoins tend to try and kind of catch up some of the gains. There's not really a lot of losers. Beam's down a bit, Celestia, Say, Rocket Pool, Render, Injective. There's not a lot of losers today. So with all that being said, we're going to go and have a look at the headline news, which is the Vanguard dump. What happened with the Vanguard dump? Well, let me explain this to you. Yesterday, as you are all fully aware, if you're in the crypto space, Bitcoin traded, the ETFs traded for the very first time. Prices went up, and then we saw massive sell pressure, and nobody could figure out why. And then over the course of a few hours, it came to light what was going on. Eleanor Terrett was reporting on it, a few of the larger crypto influencers reporting on it, and what transpired was there was massive sell pressure from the Grayscale Bitcoin ETF. And then people figured out that Vanguard was allowing people to sell the Grayscale ETF, but they were not allowing people to buy any of the Grayscale ETFs or BlackRock ETFs or anything else like that. So what actually happened was Vanguard has opted not to allow the purchase of spot Bitcoin ETFs on its platform, triggering the crypto community. According to a report from the Wall Street Journal on January 11th, Vanguard stated it will not offer the new spot Bitcoin ETFs on its brokerage, citing a misalignment with its traditional offerings. Customers of other investment firms, including Citi, Merrill Lynch, Edward Jones, and UBS, reported being unable to purchase spot Bitcoin ETFs on their platforms. So Vanguard is not allowing the purchase of these ETFs. Now, one thing I'm going to try and do live on air. Let's see if we can bring this up just to show you. Oh, here we go. I didn't even have to look. So, MicroStrategy, which is the largest largest company in America to hold Bitcoin. MicroStrategy. Michael Saylor's behind there. They've got 140,000 Bitcoin. I lose count how many Bitcoin they have. Would you just look at that? Would you just look at the hypocrisy from Vanguard? So let me read this to you one more time. Spot Bitcoin ETFs will not be available for purchase on the Vanguard platform. We also have no plans to offer the Vanguard Bitcoin ETFs or other crypto-related products. It emphasized its commitment to asset classes like equities, bonds, and cash. Now, it holds 8% of MicroStrategy, which has 140,000 Bitcoin. This has been highlighted, and what has transpired there we go. So what's transpired is that every crypto bod on Twitter, X, whatever it's called nowadays, they have decided that they are going to be moving all of their 401 savings, 401 pension funds. They're going to move them all from Vanguard and start to move them somewhere else. Now, again, one person moving his pension is not going to damage Vanguard. They're absolutely massive. What will happen is the reputational damage to Vanguard. Nobody... If you said to me 3 days ago, can you tell me the cheapest way to go and buy ETFs and funds for my portfolio? I would have said, go to use Vanguard. They are the cheapest way of accessing these funds. Their fees are 0.1%, 0.15%, very low fees. Go and use Vanguard. If you're in the UK or if you're in America especially, that's a good place to go and access them. I will now no longer tell anybody to use Vanguard. Now, I might have only told 20 people in the last 5 years to go and look at Vanguard. But if there's 10,000 crypto bots and they all tell 20 people. That's 200,000 customers less that Vanguard will have for making this decision. Eleanor Terrett again here has highlighted this issue doesn't fit with the investment philosophy. Now, the issue that I have is the investment philosophy isn't Vanguard's decision. It is the decision of you. It is your money, and you get to decide where that money goes. So if you want to go and buy a gold ETF or a silver ETF or oil or Bitcoin, whatever it might be, that's your decision. Now, this issue is not just one of them not allowing you to buy Grayscale. But yesterday we saw almost $5 billion worth of trading in the first day. The issue with that is that half of that was with Grayscale, and the majority of that was sell orders through people like Vanguard and the others that were not allowing you to buy Bitcoin ETFs. So even though there was $5 billion of trading yesterday, $2 billion of that were sell orders. So what you saw, when we look at the charts in a minute, what you saw was the initial surge, which was the initial demand for Bitcoin. And then when people realized what was happening on Vanguard, they were selling the Grayscale Bitcoin ETF, withdrawing their money. So this is the issue that we had yesterday. And again, the course of Bitcoin is never going to run true. We all expected, maybe $5 or $10 billion worth of trading in the first day. We got 5 billion, 4.7, 5.2. I don't know what the final number was. But of course, the issue is that there's always going to be spanners in the works, and Vanguard are going to be put under pressure. Not just, as I said, not because of the amount of money that's being withdrawn, but the sheer reputational damage to Vanguard. That's the issue here. I don't know whether they're going to change their opinion. They're probably not. They're a $7.7 trillion fund manager. They're probably not going to bother. But the point of the matter is, it's the reputational damage done to them. They are going to not look good at the other fund manager meetings. They're going to be pilloried on social media. They're going to be pilloried on X. And that's worth more than the amount of money that's being withdrawn. Bitcoin commentator Neil Jacobs also revealed plans to transfer funds out of Vanguard, describing the reported decision as a terrible business decision. Now, what I'm going to do now is, that's where we are with the state of play for yesterday. Bitcoin is at 46,000, but look at the options. Look at the options expiries for today, and look at the price futures traders expected Bitcoin to be at. 2.4 billion in crypto options expire today as volatility dwindles. If we move down here, it will tell you 36,000 Bitcoin options expire on January the 12th, which is today. The big expiry event is larger than last week's, which saw $1 billion worth of contracts expire with little impact on the markets. Now look, Bitcoin options data show the majority were at $50,000. So that is where the market expected Bitcoin to be today. Now, we're going to look at the chart in a minute. If you take out the $2 billion worth of sell pressure from the Grayscale and Vanguard fiasco, we were running fairly high. If you're in our Telegram group, you will have seen I posted up a screenshot of the targets that we'd set that were hit yesterday. So we're going to take a look at that in a minute. But the issue is that we expected 50,000. The futures traders expected 50,000. Commentators expected 50,000. But what nobody saw coming, because it wasn't common knowledge, was that Vanguard, which is one of the biggest fund managers, said the only option you have is to sell. And what's that going to do to the market? It's going to pump the market with sell orders. And that's kind of the mistake. We had the longs liquidated, the shorts were liquidated, the price pumped, which liquidated the shorts. The price then dumped straight afterwards, which liquidated the longs. So we go into the first day of trading unleveraged, which isn't a bad thing, but unleveraged. And all of a sudden, we get hit with the $2 billion or $1.5 billion worth of sell orders because Vanguard won't allow you to buy. Think of how much more would have been bought had Vanguard allowed people to buy. We possibly could have seen another $1 billion to $2 billion worth. And that $2 billion that's been sold probably wouldn't have been sold. We might have seen an additional $2 billion worth of buy pressure. We could have seen $6 or $7 billion worth of trading. We would be at 50,000 by now, or we would have bounced off 50,000, but we didn't. So what we're going to do, and this coffee is not helping me. I really need to wake up. I'm going to drop a box in a second. A few comments to read out. I can't read those comments out because unfortunately the app is frozen. Just give me 1 second. So we'll bring the chart up and then I will drop a comment to win box once I can figure out how to do that. We go. Right, so let's have a quick look at the Bitcoin chart as of today. Remember, we have the crypto warehouse pump. The last few days, excuse me, the last few days of streaming, the price has been higher at the end of the stream rather than the beginning of the stream. So there we go. We're at 55.9. Sorry, 45.9. Can we get to 46,000 on the stream? I think we can do it. I think positive mental attitude is really going to help us. There we go. Let's bring that up. Now, let me go and drop a comment to win box, and then I'll show you the prices that we had set. I need to restart this app as well. Everything around me just doesn't work consistently. It's forever just not working. Right, let's go into, if you're not watching on an exchange, if you are watching on YouTube, there is a link below to Binance that will take you to our stream and you'll be able to watch us on there. We give free crypto away on every stream. We also give free crypto away during the quiz, so make sure to come over and give us a follow over here. If you're already on Binance, fine, just come and follow us. And for those of you that are on Binance, the two ways you can help us is smash the like button and make sure that you follow us. Right, let me drop this and then we will get on with the show. The only gripe I have about Binance is the amount of spam that I get in the chat. I cannot see legitimate comments from people, so it's a little bit like streaming blind sometimes. I go up the chat now, Bina, RM, just drop in boxes. There's no need. I can't read anybody's comments. So if you are out there, I am not ignoring you. I am struggling to see Solo Sky. There we go. I can see Solo Sky's in chat. Kishan is in chat. There are a few people in chat. I can just about see their names. Anyway, so what happened with Bitcoin? Well, we drew, or we didn't draw, we had one fib level here and we drew one line. This line is our line of resistance, which we picked a few weeks ago. I said we need to break 48,000 if we're ever going to get to 50,000. And we came up, obviously we touched it on Tuesday night when we had the news came out that the fake news had come out that we'd been approved. Then yesterday we came up and touched the fib level, which is at 49,000. Both of these are very encouraging signs. Why is this encouraging? Because before the downward sell pressure of Vanguard, we were spiking up to this fib level, which was 49,000. Now, 50,000 is a psychological barrier, but really in my head, I've got 52,000, let's call it 52,400 is the next leg up. And the reason we have that, I don't know if I can get it on the chart here, but the reason we have that is that is a previous area of resistance on the way up during the last bull run. 52,000 was where we were looking. So this pump that's broken through and now has retraced, these are fairly positive signs. Also bear in mind that 2 billion extras worth of sell pressure, it didn't really bring us down an awful long way. We're still at 46,000. The $2 billion of sell pressure just kind of, it was like we were trying to fly to the moon and somebody tied an anchor to our ankles. That's the issue. So what I think is going to happen is that, again, you know I love my channels. 1 second. Let me just correct this. Okay. So what I think is going to happen today, there is only so much sell pressure Vanguard are going to get. The second thing to bear in mind is there are people who will be selling their grayscale on Vanguard and transferring their money from Vanguard to another provider who offers the Bitcoin ETFs. Now, you work out how long traditional finance takes. It's probably going to take a day to clear the funds. That brings you to today. Then it might take 3 days to send those funds somewhere else. So then you've got Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday next week. So by next Thursday, a week later, we should see the funds that were sold today used to buy the ETF a week from now. Now, you're not going to hear that from anyone else because nobody else probably has even given that a second thought. But the people that hold Vanguard funds will still want to hold the Bitcoin ETFs. It's the biggest news. It's being advertised everywhere. You know, Vanguard has an advert. I think they're called Bitwise has an advert. Grayscale's got its own advert. They've all got TV adverts running at the minute. And CNN, or whatever they're called in America, they've been pushing this Bitcoin ETF on their channel like there's no tomorrow, because the entire narrative has changed from it being a scam to it being the next big bull run. The next big gold run is going to be Bitcoin. So I think it's going to take a week from yesterday to get these funds back into Bitcoin. And if it's only an extra $1 billion or $2 billion worth of purchasing, so be it. But you have to look at the practicality of it. They had to sell yesterday because what can they do with it? They can't hold it. Vanguard only gave you the option to sell. So you had to sell it yesterday. It's going to take a week or so to get that money to somewhere else for them to buy it, especially if we're talking about sell orders of $200,000, $300,000, $400,000 worth of grayscale stocks. So it's not terrible news, this. It's not really bad news. It's just the way we've had another spanner in the works. Look, how many spanners in the works have we had? We've had the delays in the ETF. We've had a pandemic. We've had conflict in Eastern Europe. We've had conflict. We've had high inflation. We've had high interest rates. Everything that Bitcoin is here to fix has been detrimental to Bitcoin because it obviously reduces the amount of capital that flows into Bitcoin. So we should just come to expect these spanners in the works. But again, it's more bullish than I think people expect. Everybody expected 50,000, but now we know why it's not at 50,000. It makes perfect sense. The day it goes live, there's huge sell pressure because of one of the biggest actors in the market stopping its clients from buying it. It's like having a book, having your bestseller book and your Britney Spears, and you're going to go and sell your book, and the day it comes out, Waterstones turns around and says, we're not going to sell the book. Well, it's still going to sell. You know, people will still buy it on Amazon, people will still buy it on their local bookshop, but not having the biggest bookseller in the world selling your book is going to hit you on the bottom line. And that's unfortunately what happened yesterday. So don't be downhearted. This is another opportunity for you to dollar cost average into Bitcoin at $46,000. If you listen to Cathie Wood, and there have been some seriously funny jokes about Cathie Wood. Cathie Wood said that her bearish scenario for Bitcoin is $600,000 in 2030, and her bullish scenario for Bitcoin is 1.5 million. That's 6 years away. 5 years and 11 months away. If you are a whole coiner, and you're a whole coiner at $30,000, $40,000, $60,000, what does it matter if the price of Bitcoin is going to be $600,000 in 6 years' time? If you listen to Plan B, Bitcoin is going to be at $500,000 at the end of next year. So all of these outlandish predictions, my personal prediction is 240,000 by the end of the bull run. My bearish scenario is $105,000. And again, does it matter then if you buy at 46 or 48,000 or $50,000 if the price is going to hit $105,000? You're still making 100% in the next 18 months, 2 years, whatever it might be. So try and get into the mentality of realizing that crypto and stocks and investment, the time horizon to make you rich, it's not the lottery. It's not going to make you rich overnight. You will see 1 or 2 examples of people who've made millions of dollars in 3 days because they bought a meme coin. What you don't realize is they bought 900 meme coins before that and lost all of the money. They put $100 into some of the names I can't mention, but these meme coins that have gone to zero or as close to zero as possible, and then they struck it lucky. It's just like gambling. It's like going into a casino and putting all your money every time on number 23. And eventually, you will come up on number 23. But there's no guarantee, and that's the issue. Long-term investment into stocks and shares, or bonds, or crypto, or property over a 10-year horizon, 20-year horizon is going to make you wealthy. Sitting on cash is not. Having money under your bed is only going to be worth less and less every year. So don't worry about the price of Bitcoin. I've gone on way too long about it. We're now going to go and look at the news about the Ethereum ETF, which of course is probably going to be the next drama that we have. Ethereum ETF approval next. The price is over $2,500 as traders bet on the ETF product. Now, this is what you need to understand. There's more than one thing that moves a market, especially Bitcoin and Ethereum. There is speculation and there is news. So buy the rumor, sell the news is the story that you'll hear. But this is pure speculation. Traders are speculating that the Ethereum ETF is going to be approved. And it's the most logical next step. It's so logical, in fact, that people like BlackRock have already filed their Ethereum ETF. It's been filed. It's been delayed until, I think, April or March, but they've filed it, and there'll be more to come. So the asset's strong fundamentals, growing adoption ecosystem have made it a compelling investment proposition for institutional investors. Remember, we looked at 2 weeks ago, we looked at the amount of revenue generated by the chains, and Ethereum is second behind Bitcoin. Ethereum generates a ton of money from its fees. Even after it pays out the staking validator rewards, it makes a fortune. So if you looked at Ethereum as a business, it's a very profitable business. If you look at it as an ETF, it's a $250 billion asset or commodity, whatever you want to call it. So it's prime to be looked at as in terms of an ETF. But as I said yesterday, Ethereum and Bitcoin, two completely different coins. Bitcoin, proof of work, decentralized, autonomous, uncensorable. Ethereum has a head, Vitalik. And that, for me, is where I think the stumbling block is going to be. So the recent approval of the spot Bitcoin ETF by the SEC has seen ETH prices soar. We're at $2,600 at the minute. There's the chart we're going to look at in a minute. Now that the Bitcoin ETF speculation has come to fruition, it looks like traders are rotating to Ether to get ahead of the next narrative, an ETH ETF. While ETH looks relatively cheap compared to most other tokens, it does, and that's because ETH gets stuck at certain prices. It stutters at 1,800, it stutters at 2,000, it stutters at 2,200. As you can see, it's stuttering now at $2,600. We'll have a little look at the chart again in a minute. So again, there's this insatiable appetite to look at the next big thing and ignore, let me just bring this up for you now, and ignore what's in front of us. And that's why I keep making a point of pointing out Matic, pointing out coins, Chainlink, pointing out Quant. These are coins which solve real world problems. And this is like the shiny new toy. Imagine if you put a 2-year-old on the floor and you give him a little red fire engine to play with, and then 5 minutes later you put a little Ferrari on the floor. He's going to leave the fire engine and go to the Ferrari. Then he's going to go to the stuffed animal. Then he's going to go, and it's moving from one thing to another, and it's the next big shiny new thing, which we need to remember, and always remember that these projects, for them to have long-term success, they have to fix things. That's the point of blockchain. Blockchain is here to fix things. The internet fixed a lot of things, mainly communication issues, digital content, digital music, digital books. It fixed a lot of things. Blockchain is going to do the same thing. Accountability, auditing, speed of transactions, solving banking issues, banking the unbanked, educational records, health records, tipping, the gig economies. It fixes all of the different things. It's like the cement that is finally going to fill in all the cracks between the bricks. That's what blockchain is supposed to do. And then AI will be the next advancement of society. So here is the list of outstanding ETF applications. Grayscale is in there because it's already got its Ethereum trust. Arc again, Vanek. These are very similar names to the ones that have already got their applications in. BlackRock is there, of course. Now, the dates on here, the next deadline for some of these is the 25th, 21st of January. Again, it's going to get pushed back. It's going to get pushed back. And just like the Bitcoin ETF, they're all going to get approved at the same time. Because if they don't, it gives, for example, if you look on here and you see that, let's pick one, the Ethereum Trust, that seems to be the first on here. That has a deadline of the 18th of June. This is a deadline of the 5th of July. So if they were to approve the Grayscale Trust on the 18th of June, that would give them 2.5 weeks of trading more and ahead of Galaxy, which is an unfair competitive advantage. So what you need to remember is all of these deadlines are irrelevant. There's going to be one deadline, which is likely to be possibly the 1st of September, possibly the 1st of January next year, whatever the final deadline is. I don't believe these to be the final deadline. And if they are, then we're going to have an Ethereum ETF by June. But they could be rejected. There's many more reasons to reject an Ethereum ETF than there are a Bitcoin ETF. Primarily because, in my opinion, and this is the opinion of probably most people, Ethereum isn't a decentralized ecosystem. It has a head, and that is one of the reasons I think we're going to have bigger problems. Now, let me just bring this down. I think we are in a little bit of a bull pennant. I think what's going to happen with ETH, very simply, is I'm not going to go all the way down here because that would be ridiculous. I think we're going to try and have a run at $2,800 if this continues. If not, and we come down, we'll come down to this area here, which is 2150. It's either or, and again, as I keep saying, everything depends on Bitcoin. I am not going to make predictions on the prices of coins because we don't know what's going to happen today. It's the last day of the week. We could see massive volumes inflowing into Bitcoin. We could see some news about the Ethereum ETF. It's too hard to say. All I'll say is I think that the current range that we're in is 2540 to 2850. That's the range we're in. We broke out of it obviously down here, but this range we've kind of stuck to for 4 months. So I think if we do have a breakout, we'll break out to this 2800 range. If we come down and we break 2540, if there's some really bearish news, I think we'll come down to about 2150. We held that. If you look over here, this is a really, really solid area of support. So your buying opportunity is 21, maybe 2200. That's your buying opportunity. And if you want to take profits, I'd look to take profits about 28.30, something like that. Or given that we don't know what's going to happen with Bitcoin, maybe we're going to sit here next Monday and it'll be at 26.18 all over again. We don't know. I'm very non-committal at this moment in time, and that's mainly because we just have the bear in the forest swinging its arms around, and we don't want to go anywhere near the bear, but the bear decides what goes on, and that bear is Bitcoin. If Bitcoin rips today, we could see stagnation in the alts. If Bitcoin doesn't move today, we could see pumping of the alts, and we don't know. We just don't know. So the big move now is this Denkun, which is the next upgrade on the Ethereum network. Now, let me just readjust myself, make this a little bit bigger for you to see. Okay, so the implementation, I'm going to attempt to read these out. Gurley is the 17th of January, which is next week. Then Sepolia is the 30th of January, tentative, and then Whole Sky is the 7th of February. The next major upgrade, Denkun, is attracting attention because it's going to reduce the layer 2 transaction fees. It will be implemented around the end of February. We don't need to tell you what a layer 2 is. We all know what a layer 2 is. Layer 2s, I think I've got a chart somewhere actually to show you. Here we go. I think this is going to show you the layer 2s. Let's bring this up. There's a chart on here. Oh, come on. There. Okay, let's bring this up for you. Okay, so these are a lot of the layer 2s and the projects associated with Ethereum. We'll look at that in a second. Let's finish off this article. Got a lot of things open on here. Here we go. Ethereum is expected to outperform Bitcoin's growth rate. Yeah, we think that's going to be the case. It's got a lot further to grow. It's a little bit unfair comparing Bitcoin to Ethereum. It's like comparing a stately home to a tractor. They're two totally different things. They just happen to both be crypto, and they both happen to be on blockchains. They both happen to be layer 1s, but that's where the similarity ends. Ethereum is powering blockchain innovation through its layer 2s and through itself directly. Bitcoin is providing a life-changing way to store your value so it doesn't erode against inflation. We'll call it gold rather than a stately home. So you want to buy Bitcoin because what you want to do is say, I have $1,000 worth of buying power today. And in 10 years' time, I want a minimum of $1,000 worth of buying power. And Bitcoin should solve that problem. And in 10 years' time, your $1,000 in real terms should be worth $2,000, $3,000, $5,000, $10,000. If you keep that $1,000 in cash, given the fact that they print money every year, given the fact that inflation is going to be about 3% every year, that $1,000 is potentially only going to be worth $650 in 10 years' time because of compounding inflation. So you'll lose a third of the value of your money in 10 years' time. And it's like a stealth tax. You don't realize you're losing value on your money. We didn't lose this value when we're in the gold standard, by the way. We came off the gold standard, countries started to print money. There we go. So Bitcoin aims to fix that. So it's a store of value. Ethereum is the workhorse. It's the tractor. It allows you to sow the seeds. It allows you to harvest. It has a massive volume. It has a massive income. It has a massive teams of developers. It's one of the biggest entities in the world. So it's not fair or just or right to compare the two. They just so happen to be the two biggest blockchains. And personally, I hold both, and you should. You should hold both as well. So what this is going to allow people to do, or allow layer 2s to do, is act in a different way and allow them to basically store transactions for so many days without having to submit them to the Ethereum chain, which is supposed to help both sides, Ethereum and the layer 2s, and of course reduce the fees to layer 2s. That's why you will have seen over the last few weeks, maybe the last 10 days, Arbitrum pumped, Optimism pumped. What else is pumped on here? Matic didn't pump, by the way. Mina pumped, which is a protocol that's going to allow interoperability between Ethereum and other layer 2s and other chains. They're all going to pump within their own environment. So holding Ethereum, which is the daddy, that is going to pump maybe 5x in the next bull run, or 6x in the next bull run, maybe more with the with the ETF, but let's say a 5x. That would put it at, as of today's price, that would put it at $13,000. Arbitrum will pump more than that. Optimism will pump more than that. Matic will pump more than that. They have smaller market caps. They are now making more money. As I keep saying, there is moves afoot for different chains to be able to do different things. Hot off the press example for you today. ApeCoin is now going to be available on the Matic layer 2, Polygon layer 2. Okay, ApeCoin is on the Ethereum chain. It's an ERC20 coin, and it's now going to be available on Matic. We have seen other coins move to Matic. We've seen NFTs move to Matic. Don't fade Matic. I keep saying it time and time again. We're going to come out the other end of this bull run, and Matic is going to be the #1 layer 2 blockchain. And there's no doubt in my mind, because it has all of the real world deals in place, which I've covered before. It has volume, and it is slowly siphoning the biggest projects from Ethereum to itself. So while Arbitrum's over here trying to catch up, while Optimism's over here trying to catch up, Matic is the one making all the moves. But like I said, it's not sexy. It's not sexy because it did all of the sexy stuff in the bear market. We were covering all of its news last year, and it was making no difference to Matic. It spiked up at one point to $1, and now I think we're back down towards 90 cents, I believe. Are we at 90 cents on Matic? Let's have a look. What is the price of Matic? 91 cents. Hasn't performed anywhere near where it should have performed, in my opinion. So what we're going to do is, we are massively running out of time. So very quickly, we're going to cover SUI. Now, SUI I have made a video about a long time ago, and let me just bring up my internet connection today is absolutely dog awful. It's just so slow. So I think there is a search option. Let me have a look. Is that going to bring up? There we go. So when was this? Is that 8 months ago, 9 months ago? I made a video about SUI. It was a new layer 1 blockchain when it came out. SUI solves a lot of problems, but like a lot of things, you need adoption. You need adoption. I'll say it over and over again. If nobody uses your blockchain, it doesn't matter if you have the biggest restaurant with the best food. If your restaurant is empty, you are not going to make any money. That's the problem that SUI had. I said the same thing about some of the gaming blockchains that we've covered on the channel. They're great blockchains. They really solve all the problems. Plug and play wallets, plug and play NFTs, ability to create microtransactions so you can have in-game cryptocurrency. They're brilliant. But if no games use them, what's the point of what's the point of having them? If you're going to compete against Solana, which is cheap, a layer 1, has liquidity on it. If you're going to compete with Solana, you have to book up and you have to bring on 200, 300, 400 games onto your platform, so you get a reputation as being a game platform. SUI needs teams building on it. Now, we did cover a South Korea game developer that was going to be building on SUI, but again, the lag is going to be maybe 18 months, 2 years before we see anything. But what they have done is, did I bring the article up? Or am I still stuck on these? Right, let's close some of these down. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to cover this. I'm going to show you the SUI chart, and then we're going to skip the last article and go straight to the quiz. Again, I don't want to keep eating into the quiz every day. It's just, it's a nice relaxing part of the stream. So let me bring this up. So Deepin and Dewey come to SUI in groundbreaking Carrier 1 partnership with an up-and-coming token launch. Thank the Lord for that. So Carrier 1 is going to integrate its telecom capabilities of funding to help expand its Deepin on the Solana network. And if you have a Saga phone, universal phone numbers will be sold by Carrier 1 on the network, and secure NFTs in KNS fortified with features that prioritize self-sovereign digital identity, safeguard user data, and enhance digital security. Sounds brilliant, doesn't it? A telephone number as an NFT. Well, what does that mean? Well, that means that you can transfer your NFT to somebody else and they get your telephone number. Interesting. Not too sure about the security side of that, but there we go. A key feature of the KNS will be the integration of ZK login, a fundamental SUI primitive that streamlines user interactions on SUI by enabling Web3 authentication. Users can log in with Google or Facebook to generate a self-custodial wallet secured by ZK proofs. By combining KNS with this, the partnership enables end users to transact in Web3 using their telephone numbers instead of requiring them to manage a crypto-native wallet. This sounds really quite cool. But again, I'll say that word again, adoption. It needs to be used. A pivotal aspect of this work involves leveraging Carrier 1's advanced radio tech to tap into unused wireless spectrum. It all sounds very techy and very good, The proof is in the pudding. Could you see 3 billion people using this? No, I can't. So, is it going to lead to worldwide adoption? Maybe the technology through SUI will lead to adoption. If Vodafone or Orange or whatever they're called nowadays, Deutsche Telekom, if somebody like that decides that it's going to use SUI, then fine. Or if the major Chinese phone carrier decided to use this, I'd be massively bullish. Now, I'm not going to show you too much on this. All I'm going to say to you is, remember, with all of these coins, if you believe in a project, then it's normally the red box, but in this instance, it's these two areas here. Okay, this is where you cook your pie. Okay, this is the pie. We're going to call this the pie zone. Okay, this is where you cook your pie. Tokens can fall in value, and tokens can fall in value for lots of reasons. Bad news, late on deployment, lack of usage, poor revenue reports, lots of reasons. Crap coins, as they're colloquially known, they tend to go down and never come back, and they'll just stay there forever. Good coins, Matic, Ethereum, Bitcoin, Solana, ADA, they are always going to have these periods in a bear market. Let's just get rid of our pie. That's the nicest pie I've ever drawn. But what will happen is, eventually it will come out the other end. You'll take your pie out of the oven, and then it's time to enjoy your pie. So again, SUI's done a beautiful job of respecting the fib levels. It's broken out. It found resistance. It tested it. It broke down, and then it broke up again, found some resistance, and now it's broken up. So we're at $1.10. We've respected the fib levels beautifully. Now what we should see, we are slightly overbought. And if you look down here at previous RSI levels, we've done this, we've done this, we've done this. So again, the price has followed that pattern. So what I would expect to see is SUI come back down to about the shortest fall is 94 cents, but really we should be looking at 84 cents. So if you're interested in SUI, go and check out my video. Short terms, I don't know how long the video is. There we go, 6.5 minutes. Go and check out that video on SUI. If you like it, invest in the project. I hold some because I got it at the very beginning, but it's a long-term thing, and it's a very small bag. I don't even know if I've got 300 or 400 SUI, something like that. It's a very small amount. But this isn't groundbreaking news either. This isn't SUI is going to be connected to Ethereum or Chainlink. So I would expect, I'll probably draw it, let's draw it back on the chart and leave it for another time. I would expect SUI to come down to 84 cents over the next couple of weeks. It's good news. It's not great news. It's a good partnership, but it's not going to change the world, if you know what I mean. Right, so let's bring up the Bitcoin chart and then let's do the quiz. 46,145. You see, the crypto warehouse pump is in full effect. See, you just can't beat. Positive mental attitude. My phone is going crazy. Right, what we're going to do now is, if you give me a second, let's head over here, see what's what. There we go. Right, so we're going to do the quiz. I might just leave YouTube on for this. So, Kishan, yeah, hidden agendas, take a Binance account. It's underneath the link. So if you do want to come and watch us on Binance as well, we're over there. And similarly, if you are on Binance, please do me a huge favor after the stream. Go and subscribe to our YouTube channel. We've recently just broke 3,000 subscribers over there, which is ahead of schedule for what we expected. We want to get to 100,000 subscribers across Binance, YouTube, Twitter, somewhere else. We want to get to 100,000 by February. We're at 86 or 87,000 right now. So if you can, help a fella out. Now then, quiz time. I'm going to leave YouTube on. Why the devil not? For those of you that are new here, we do a quiz at the end of the show. It's normally quite a lot of talking, the show, and I'm normally tired by now, and I am. So this is just a chance to see who's in chat and basically talk to you guys. Got any questions? Leave them in chat on YouTube. Got any questions? Leave them in chat on Binance, and I will answer them as best I can. Right, first of all, let's ask a question. Okay, remember, I'm going to give you two options. And those two options are in answer to the question. So if I say to you, who ruined the ETFs on our big day? That's the question. Is it Vanguard or is it KFC? All you've got to do is put Vanguard or KFC into chat and you will win some SHIB. Remember, we are not paid to do these streams. I have to stress that to all the newcomers. So all the crypto that I give out on this stream, it comes out of tips that we get from you guys and my pocket. It doesn't come out of Binance. Don't pay us to do these streams. We're not sponsored by anybody on the channel. The money comes out of our pockets. We don't mind, but don't complain when you win. Don't complain that you only got 50, 60 SHIB. We can't do $10 giveaways every question. We'd be broke. And, you know, we gave Beam away on Wednesday night. We gave away 300, 400 Beam on Wednesday night. We're probably going to give away some Stacks tokens at some point, maybe tomorrow, if you watch the show. So we give away as much as we can. We give away as much as we can. Okay. Not many people got that right. Remember, you've got to put the answer as the option I've given you. So if I say Vanguard with a capital V, which is the answer, you need to put the capital letter in as well. If I say true or false and both words are in lowercase, you type true or false in lowercase. Very easy. So Maya, we got that right. Mags won, not a lot. I can't even pronounce that. Kusha Tiwari. Eagle Wings, congratulations. Well done, everybody. Please give you $20 US. I really need it today. No, we don't have $20 to give you. The money we're giving out is we're giving it out in the quiz. So yeah, and Sabir Rahman, can you just stop spamming chat? It's the same codes. Right, next question for you guys. A lot of people watching the show today. We're nearly at 5,000 viewers, which is pretty decent. And almost, how many likes are we at? We are on just under 20,000 likes. Not bad. Next question. Let's keep the questions flowing. Let me ask you a little bit more of a sensible one today. Okay, this is a straightforward question. His name has been synonymous with crypto now for 2 years. But Gary Gensler, does Gary Gensler work for the SEC or the FBI? Gary Gensler, does he work for the SEC or the FBI? Feel free to answer in chat. With the correct answer and get some free crypto. 4613. Where are we at now? 46,130. Look at that go. Right, coffee is most definitely needed. I am rough today. Apologies for the noise of my coffee. 41.5. See, this is the crypto warehouse pump I've been telling you all about. We're at 45,930 when I said thoughts and prayers. We've gone up $240 in that time. Thus is our influence. 31 of you got that one right. Gary Gensler does indeed work at the SEC. He doesn't work for the FBI, although some people might believe that he does, because some people have suggested that Bitcoin was created by the CIA or the FBI many moons ago, but we don't know. So, Kushal, congratulations. Kishan, well done. Cyberpunk Danny's in chat. Eagle Wings, no turd. October Flower, Mr. Cannon, congratulations to you. Excuse me, to you all. Who else is in here? There's a lot of people saying FBI. Yeah, well, you know what? He could very well do, but he does actually work for the SEC. Binance EB0C, we are not going to send you $12. And anybody asking in chat for money, can you please not? It is not that kind of stream. If you want to do that, go to one of the AFK streams, which are on this platform, where you can just paste that kind of stuff all day. But I will call you out. That's not what we're here for. We are here to try and educate people. So stop dropping these fake boxes, fake links, and stop asking for money in chat. Next question. We'll ask you one about Ethereum. And again, remember one thing. These are not meant to be difficult questions. They're not meant to catch you out. They are meant for anybody that's come here who's a beginner, that's new to crypto, that might not have any confidence in crypto, might be unsure of themselves. The two things that they should get out of this quiz is, number one, they should get some knowledge that they didn't have before the quiz. And number two, they should get some crypto. And that, you know, if somebody goes away and says, oh, you know, I got 200 SHIB today watching this stream on Binance, it puts them in a nice positive frame of mind. And yes, the DGens and the OGs out there, you're always going to get these questions right, because I can't sit here and ask you a mastermind quiz with difficult questions, because it's not fair on newcomers. So this isn't aimed to try and catch anybody out. There's no trick questions in here. Maybe the Gary Gensler working for the FBI or the SEC, maybe it was a trick question because potentially he works at both. But his official title is head of the SEC. Now, what would be great is whoever becomes the next president puts Hester Peirce in charge, because Hester Peirce will be a better person to be in charge. Who else? Who has won? Sorin, well done. Kishan again, Eagle Wings, Mr. Hamza, Warmaster C is back in chat. Good morning. Fethi Madrid, Florin, I haven't seen you in an age. Tulis Giannis is here. D-Wang is back. Carlos and Anonymous Marichal. And I do apologise in advance for getting everybody's names wrong. Learn, earn and share. Hopefully that's the plan. Don't listen to Denzi Zach. Don't go to Telegram. They're not going to give you $1,000 for free. It's a scam. Just don't click on any of them. Nushan Hussain, Stop dropping boxes. You haven't dropped a $450 box in chat. I'm not giving you $20 either. Stop asking, but thank you anyway. Thank you for your participation, but no, we will not be giving you any money. We are doing a quiz, and each quiz question gives away SHIB. That's the point of it. Right, so we've done some questions on Bitcoin, Ethereum, Gary Gensler. What else did we cover today? Oh, okay. Next question then. Now, this is a tricky one. This is not gonna catch you out, but if you have to have listened to what I was saying to get this question right. SUI, we've just covered it. Is SUI a layer 1 or is SUI a layer 2? To win, type L1 or L2 into chat. Is SUI a layer 1 or a layer 2? Does XRP have a future or not? There is some massive news coming out about XRP. XRP are doing a buyback of shares. That's bullish news. There is talk about an XRP ETF. I don't think that's going to happen. I think what we're going to do is we're going to see a pump in XRP over the course of the next 6 months. The reason, in my opinion, is the reason that the price is suppressed is they still have one part of the court case against the SEC outstanding, and that's the fine for the initial coin offering. $100, $200, $300 million fine is going to be in place. I think once that's paid off, I think the price is going to have a run up. I do think there is a future. I mean, don't get me wrong, there's a massive future for XRP. People who think XRP is only going to be used for bank transfers and cross-border payments haven't looked at what XRP is doing. Go and have a look at their CBDC trials, their central bank digital currency trials. I think it's Bolivia they're doing a trial with. If XRP can become the chain which becomes integrated with the banks and becomes the smaller country CBDC partner of choice, then XRP is going to be one of the biggest cryptocurrencies in the world. I am not saying it's going to overtake Bitcoin. I am not saying it's going to overtake Ethereum. But it's going to be up there. It's going to be up there. Now, they are all big ifs. I know. But this is a speculative industry. We are all so still early. 15 years ago, on January the 10th, Bitcoin produced its first block. 15 years ago. We are now 15 years later, and today is the second day of trading of an ETF on spot Bitcoin. That's how far we've come in 15 years. From not existing to being a recognized financial product in 15 years. Where are we going to go in another 15 years? Who knows? But XRP, there's a protocol built for the banks to use that is called the XRPL protocol. It's not going anywhere, and it's going to be worth a fortune. I am not saying it's going to go to $689. It's not financial advice. If we see $6 to $10 in the next bull run, I'll be more than happy. Loads of people got that one right. It is, of course, a layer 1. Carlos, you are welcome. I'm not giving you $20, so please stop asking. It's not going to happen. Right, next question. It's 10 past 12 already. Where has the day gone? Right, what I'll do, I'll ask one more question, and then I will drop the thank you box, the follow, comment to win box, and then I'll get going. I didn't realise the time. Again, I always run out of time. I do really need some sleep, though. I am shattered. And this is my favourite question, because this man has been forgotten about, and you need to remember that he sacrificed his career to get us to where we are. Now, you might not agree with that, but if he hadn't have stepped down, we probably wouldn't have the ETF. because Binance wouldn't have allowed to have been where it is today without him. So, in honour of the great man, what is CZ's number for FUD? It's a number between 1 and 5. He would hold up his hand. So, you know, there are great people who've been involved with crypto that are no longer with us. And I don't mean passed away, I mean no longer actively involved. People like Hal Finney, great man, no longer with us. CZ threw himself as the sacrificial lamb to get the process of Binance being settled. And once that happened, it paved the way for the ETF. Had he dug his heels in, they probably would have won, and we would never have the ETF. So just bear that in mind. When people say, oh, you know, whatever about him, just remember, he started this end game for Bitcoin. And I'm sure wherever he's doing, I've seen a picture of him surfing somewhere. I'm sure he's enjoying himself. I'm sure he's enjoying these gains. I'm sure he's enjoying all these things. But at some point, we need him back in crypto. Whether it be with Binance, whether it be his own project, we need him back. So, final correct answers. Lukanov, congratulations. Scorpion, Coin City. Eagle Wings again, Crypto Sabir. Dwang, Beryl, good morning. Franjava, Mubin, Kishan again, congratulations. Abismark, maybe? Abismark. Hamza, Kushal, well done, all of you. And Kamel, congratulations. You are all winners. So what we're going to do now is we're going to drop the thank you box. But before we do, a bit of housekeeping. It's called housekeeping. And on a cold day like this, there is no housekeeping being done because it's too cold. Number one, we stream at 11 o'clock every day. I can actually bring this up today to show you. When we stream on other exchanges as well, we can't do a lot of the stuff that we're going to do on here like this today. So tomorrow, when it loads, here we go. Okay, so tomorrow we have a stream at 11 o'clock. So make sure to give us a follow, bookmark this stream. The number of people being reminded, by the way, I'm getting a lot of messages for people saying, I used to be notified when you were going live, and now I don't get any notifications. I don't know why that is. I have no idea. But if you could make sure to press the, whatever it's called, reminder button on this, that would be great. We're probably going to have Sunday off because I need a rest. I'll be back in the studio tomorrow with Brogan. We'll be streaming live from the studio. We might give away some free crypto on the stream. Then we will be streaming on Monday and Tuesday next week. I've just not set them up. But next week, we will do the Star Atlas stress test gameplay night. Star Atlas is a coin you can buy on Binance. It's a Solana-based. I don't know if anybody's old enough to remember Elite. It's a game that was around in about 1984. I'm showing my age. 40 years ago, I played that game. Good grief. So, Star Atlas, we're going to be stress testing that next week. See you tomorrow, Carlos. Thanks for coming. So, as well as that, one very important thing. If I click on this stream, we're going to have Streamception right now, just so you all know. Let's close some of these things down now. Here we go. So, underneath, one quick thing to show you. There we go. We're not going to bring that up. So, there we go. So, if you want to contact me for whatever reason, if you want your portfolio reviewed, if you want to ask questions, if you want projects to be reviewed, all of our contact information is underneath. I am more than happy to look at your portfolio, more than happy to answer your questions. And finally, please help us out. Go over to our YouTube channel and subscribe. That is all we ask. With all that being said, I'm going to drop the box now. Have a nice day. Thanks for coming. Kishan, Carlos, Warmaster C, who others' names did I see? Hamza. I don't know who else was in here. But thanks for coming, everybody. Comment to win box is being dropped now. I will see you all in the morning with, of course, the man himself. Brogan will be back, the Oracle. He will be back on the stream with me. So until then, have a great Friday. Remember, it's Friday. Go out, look at the clouds, touch grass, relax, all those good things. And I will see you in the morning. I'm going to drop the box any second now.